Hey guys, let's take a look at PreStorm protocol on our current version 3.1 to find out what's new and what changed. Once you start a new run, that is not your very first one of course, you will be hit with this screen right here. And you can see that we have 1200 points available to ourselves. And now we can use these points to take items with us onto our subsequent run that we acquired in our previous runs. These items here, they will cost you a certain amount of points. Now, it depends a little bit on how many points you are actually allowed to spend, because you will never spend the full 1200 points available to you, because you will need these points for something else that I will touch on in just a second. So, depending on the difficulty, you must refrain from taking any items with you. At the beginning you will have to have like 600 points available to you. Maybe a little bit early on it's just 400. The point where I am at now, I need 900 points available to myself. So I can only spend 300 of these remaining survival points to take an item with me, because as I said, I need the remaining amount of points, the other 1000 points, to buy something that is much more important than the items that I could take with me. The item that I'm referring to is the following. Here, if you're on your map and you are about to start an exercise, you choose a map and then you will be hit with a possible purchase here. You can see you can purchase a vehicle. Yeah, you can even use or purchase some in-game items. You never wanna buy these. You always want to buy a vehicle, because on these maps, as you will see in a second when we actually go on a run together, not a full run, don't worry about it, I will just tell you the ropes. Then on this map there will be tiles that are contaminated with something detrimental to your run. You cannot freely move around the map, or you would be hitting a huge time waste, and you cannot waste much time, otherwise you will die to the storm. So the method of you being able to avoid or move over these contaminated tiles is to purchase the correct vehicle. Depending on what map you actually choose to encounter, you need a different vehicle. That is not too much of a big deal, because you can see that we have a bunch of vehicles here, but only this one vehicle here, the cleaner, it has a green arrow attached to it, and that shows us, that is the indicator that we need this exact vehicle on this exact map that we are about to face. So we always, every single time we hit a map, want to purchase the vehicle that has a green arrow attached to it. We're gonna click buy, and then we're gonna start exercise, and that is why you have to watch out how many points you have available to yourself and more. Before we jump into an actual run, let me tell you about some more quirks here. You can see a very important thing is your protocol, your PreStorm protocol task lists. You see this right here on the left hand side of your screen. So when you click on this, you see of course your main tasks. You will get these done anyways by just simply playing the game. There is nothing that you have to pay specific attention to, but you have something called assistant task. You can see here our list is empty right now. We want to fix that. So there is a person here on this map. He is always somewhere else. It is random. Check your map and find this person here and to go to talk to this person. He will give you the assistant task, and yeah, you will have to, or you will want to complete these tasks in order to gain yourself the achievements. And then you're simply gonna go back to your list and you check what the person actually wants from you, and you pay attention that you, when you start an exercise, fulfill this exact task. You can see now we have a task here since we talked to the guy, and he tells us that to fix the box world, Ulrich suggests heading to Laplace to find a girl. So that is exactly what we're gonna do. Once we start an exercise, you can see here we have access to 2 areas. Later it will be 4, right? You get the point. We have Laplace, or we have the area, the edge of the Earth. What did we just find out? Which area we will go to from the task? Exactly, it was Laplace. We're gonna go here. We're gonna explore this map a little bit, and our main objective right here, among others that I will just explain in just a second, is to find the girl that we are looking for to complete our task. Alright, then we have one more thing we have to worry about. We have access to like 4 different, let me call them fractions, and yeah, you will find some materials throughout your exploration on these maps to unlock yourself the battle pre-shop, as they call it, for these different factions. You have to choose which fraction you level up in which order, and how deep you go with leveling a fraction up. On your first runs, right, in the very early game, it doesn't matter too much. You will not go deep enough here into a shop or even multiple shops, right? But the more you increase the difficulty, the longer your runs will get, the more items you will find, and the more experience you will gain to level these shops up here further. And the way you want to do this is, in the end, you want to level up the civilian community center first, because you want to gain access to the assistant Pickles, so that you gain more research nodes and more looting spots, etc. He increases the loot that you find by a big enough amount, by a significant amount. It is the most worth it out of all of them. After you unlocked Pickles, you wanna stop and you wanna switch to the shop. This one right here, to the Foundation Temporary Office, the shop that has Matilda in it. You're gonna also grab Matilda as one of your existence, but the true reason why you want to hit this shop is this one right here, the Foundation Basic Effect, that increases the selling prices in the field exercise shop by 10%. You see, you use Pickles by to obtain more loot, and then you unlock these nodes right here, so that you can sell the loot that you acquire through Pickles for a higher price, and therefore you will have more research nodes. That is very, very important to later on, to be able to purchase your vehicle every single round, to get your hands onto your gadgets, and so on and so forth. Then yeah, after you know all of this, after you talk to the person, you know what your task is, you go here, you simply just auto-equip all of your gadgets, all of the items that you took with yourself onto this run, and then you're gonna start the exercise in the place that your task tells you. In our case, it is Laplace. Alright, now let's go onto a run together. The very first thing that you have to check is the radar in the top right corner of your screen. This one right here. This, you can see it blinks in green. That indicates the direction that you have to walk towards in order to safely leave the map and therefore end your run on this map. So the very first thing that you want to do is you want to, if the map allows you, right? Every map is generated randomly every single time. So you want to move into the opposite direction of where this radar tells you to go first, to explore the map a little bit. In this very specific scenario here, we got lucky. Because, yeah, I mean, if it's lucky or not is a little bit debatable, but how it turned out here is that we immediately find what I call the merchant. You see this little creature right here 2 tiles away from us that has the symbol with that says shop. That is what you want to find in every single map. Every time you go on a run, you aim to find this merchant like first, before you end your run at least. While you are on your while you go around and explore the map, you will find, of course, people to recruit, and you will find these places in which you can gather loot. This one right here. Usually you don't want to activate the fields that don't sparkle in gold. Can show you this in right a second here. There we go. You see on the left hand side of your screen there is a loot tile that sparkles in gold. That is usually the only tile that you want to grab your loot from, because if you go for every single loot, then your time will run out and you might actually get in trouble and die to the storm that is approaching. So in order to manage your time effectively, only ever grab the loot tiles that are golden. Now, as I said, specific scenarios occur because the maps are generated randomly. Now, in my specific case here, which almost never happens, I found the merchant immediately. And this guy is very important. So I go for the tiles all around him that let me grab loot. So that I grab the materials that let me translate stuff. It's very, very important. Wait a minute. Maybe we find an item like this right here. No, but this loot also gives me research notes. Let me show you a picture right now, real quick. Here we have it. This is a merchant shop, critter merchant, as you can see. And you will sell all of the items that you found via looting on your map. You will sell this to him to accumulate yourself the money, right? The research notes or whatever the resource is called. Those are some research notes is what they are called actually. And then you will buy the gadget. As you can see, the tooth right here, for example, is for the Bloodtide team. So you would buy this gadget if you play Bloodtide. If this would be a gadget for like Dynamo or negative statuses or inspiration, you wouldn't buy this if you do not play the team, right? You wouldn't buy the tooth if you wouldn't play Bloodtide. Okay. Everything else that you would buy here are the translation notes that would allow you to upgrade the fractions that we talked about earlier, the ones where you can grab yourself like Pickles and Matilda. So go around, only grab the golden sparkly loot cases and find the merchant, and of course complete whatever task you have available, right? And here you saw, now we grabbed an item that we can sell for a lot amount of cash. This one right here, you can see on the very top left hand side of your screen, there is this heart bottle, let me call it like that. It has a sparkly attached to it and is also gold. This sparkly, this little star there in the corner, indicates that you can buy this, that you can sell this, excuse me, for a pretty high price compared to other things that you can sell. See, this that gave us like 500 resources. This one here will only give us 50, but you sell everything except for the translation materials. And then you will buy the items like this vinyl disc. You click on the item, you read it, and if it says it can be submitted to any faction, right, then you always buy these kind of materials from the merchant. And you have to watch out for these prices, because you never want to fall below the amount that it would take you, that it would cost you in order for you to purchase a car, right? A vehicle. The vehicles are the most important part here. Otherwise, you will get screwed up by these detrimental tiles. You can see these water tiles right here. Occasionally, they start burning. And if I would move over these tiles while they are actually burning, then yeah, they would screw me up heavily. You can see they started burning, and without the car, these tiles would screw me up. And every single map has different kinds of these tiles, so you always need the correct vehicle. This is why you have to buy it every single time. Otherwise, you can see I would not be able to freely move around the map, and it would cost me a lot of nerves and a lot of time. This will end you runs. So be prepared for that. And of course you will be meeting people right here, and especially for the tasks that you have, you will find people that want you to fulfill a specific task, like this one right here. She either wants research notes, which are the cash in this game, or she wants you to turn in some supplies, right? Wants some items from you. Others would want you to go to a specific tile to gather something. Others want you to take a fight, you know, defeat a specific enemy. And yeah, always feel free to fulfill these tasks, to recruit people, or as you can see here, get the assistant tasks done. These will lead you, right? And now I know you can read it right here, that the next area I will go to is called Safe Haven. So I know the next map that I will encounter is the Safe Haven, and I will do then whatever this task tells me. In this case, I will have to continue to build a tower. So I'm gonna look, this is gonna be my first priority. I'm gonna go to Safe Haven, I'm gonna look for the tower, and I'm gonna do whatever the tower tells me to do in order to complete my task. Once you have completed the run, you found the merchant, you bought stuff from the merchant, you sold stuff to the merchant, you have recruited a bunch of people, you looted the golden tiles. Then at some point, of course, you will have to go home and end your run on this map. Then you will be hit with this screen right here. And you can see that I discovered 5 vinyl discs. That equals to 250 points in order for me to upgrade either the community center, the translation lab, etc. And yeah, I told you earlier what you actually do. First, you want to get this civilian community center up to level 2 in order for you to purchase pickles. Next up, you want to, I think it was the Foundation temporary office, the one where you can purchase yourself Matilda and increase the amount of loot that you gain and sell stuff for a higher price. So that is how you're gonna do that. You can see here that for the Xeno conference hall, I already obtained 120 translation materials. That is because the people, the assistants that I recruited during my run also count towards leveling up a specific faction. That is a very good side note here, that let's say you completed every single task that this game throws at you, then how you gonna choose in which area you go to next, right? Let's say, hey, I want to upgrade my Xeno hall for like some reason, right? That is the one that I'm aiming for in this run. And so I need to recruit people from the Xeno faction. Then you have this list right here. You can see that in this map here, in the Graveyard of Dreams, I have the highest amount of chance to actually find myself people from the Xeno faction, you know? If I aim for Foundation members or civilians, that is not the place I should go to. But for the Xeno faction, this is a pretty good map. You can see here in Laplace, it would be, yeah, in this case, unfortunately, it would be this very same scenario. But every single map is different and gives you a higher chance to find people that are from the faction that you aim to upgrade. Then you are back in your base and you see the tab Headquarters here. This is where you can go to and unlock yourself very beneficial effects. Here, these items, they increase the amount of stuff that you can carry throughout your run. See, you have a truck, so to speak. It's called Lucy's trailer or something. And you can only fit so much loot into this truck. Once you would overload the truck, you wouldn't be able to move anymore, and that would lead you to either use one of your consumables or even throw an item away. You can increase the amount of stuff that you can carry via this upgrade right here. Or if you want to equip a gadget, for example, to your loadout, to your characters, you are limited to like, I think 3 or 4 gadgets at the beginning, and to unlock more gadget space, you would need to purchase these upgrades right here. I think I show an example. Let me check. Yeah, first look at your money, right? That is also very, very important. You have 1,200 papers available, and you can see the price that you would need to upgrade, like your carry capacity or your gadget capacity. Make sure that you are 100% aware of how much a vehicle will cost you, that you need to purchase in order to explore the maps. Do not fall under the amount that it would cost you to purchase such a vehicle. That is the very most important thing. And then the next priority on the list is to upgrade your carry capacity for your loot. And after that, you can go for the 2 gadget spaces, right? Keep that in mind. The vehicle is number 1 priority, then upgrade your capacity space, and then your gadgets. That is very, very important to know. These treasure chests here, they give you very, very important items. They are also very valuable, but yeah, they are a little bit lower on the priority list. See here, max carry capacity, boom, I buy this. Then I can only afford to buy myself 1 gadget spot because it costs 200. Now in this run right here, my vehicles cost 600 because the difficulty is rather low. So I made 100% sure I still have 600 cash or papers available in order for me to purchase the vehicle that I need for the map that I am about to encounter. You see on your map that you can go to these faction shops, right? There the items, like for example, if you want to purchase Pickles as your assistant, you can see this here, Civilian Community Center, and the 3 other shops, they also cost you stuff. So keep an eye on that as well. Pickles, for example, would cost me 400 papers, aka 400 cash. So keep that in mind. These shops have an even higher priority, but not really, because you will do a few maps in order to unlock yourself the ability to like upgrade these factions in order to buy yourself the assistants and the other stuff. So yeah, like as I said, first the vehicle, then the capacity, then the gadgets, and then later on, if you unlock it like Pickles and other good upgrades in these faction shops, you then go for those. Pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, always remember the vehicle. That is the most important part of all of these runs, right? And then we like whatever gadgets are the best is also pretty self-explanatory. They have a rarity attached to them, and you would just equip the best rarity gadgets that you find across your run. Yeah, don't forget to equip any assistance you have available at the time, and always purchase the car that has the green arrow. And that's pretty much about it, guys. Later on, as I conquered more and more harder difficulties, I will make another video covering how to unlock certain achievements, or maybe there will be a new difficult boss or whatever. If things come up that would be worth talking about, I will bring you those via either another full video, or I will cover this in a short. So stay tuned for that. If you have any more questions concerning this PreStorm protocol mode, feel free to join the Discord, link to that in the description down below. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and we love this game.